Belgooly is a tiny village on the road between Cork and Kinsale. Nothing unusual about it, except for one of its inhabitants. Jeremiah Lane has been living there for the past 70 years. When he was born in 1893, Gladstone had managed to get his Home Rule Bill through the House of Commons. Oscar Wilde's new comedy, A Woman of No Importance, was opening in London. And Russian composer Tchaikovsky had just died at St. Petersburg. Dr. Lane, who says he's the oldest practising GP in Europe, was appointed to the Belgooly dispensary district with a salary of £140 a year, looking after hundreds of farm labourers and their families. He qualified in 1919 and is the only survivor of his class. Dr. Lane believes people were healthier in years gone by because they walked everywhere and didn't eat much sugar, but urbanisation and modern farming techniques have added to today's health problems.
It is much healthier to be living in the country than to be living in a town or a city. There was less pollution, everything, you see, and we had pure drinking water springs until the bloody farmers destroyed the springs all over the country. You can't get a spring at all now because they're so covetous for land. I'm fighting the farmers for the past 70 years.
Dr. Lane did his rounds on a bicycle and remembers that infectious diseases were his big worry in those days. Nowadays, a fat-free diet keeps him on the go. He gave up smoking 50 years ago, but says he was forced to take up cigarettes when he was a student.
I said to my mother, I have to increase my pocket money because I can't stick it in the anatomy room. I said, it's been most of the time there for the past 2 years, and I said I could stand the smell of the corpses. There are half dozen around each corpse, and they are blowing cigarette smoke into my face. I couldn't stick it. I said I'll have to increase my pocket money, and then she did, and I explained it, and I was able to carry on then because I was able to blow at them as well as they were blowing at me. You see.
Lord Mayor of Cork, Tomás McCurtain, taught him step dancing, and Dr. Lane says this trained him to stand properly and helped to avoid problems like varicose veins.
As a dancer, a champion step dancer, I had to stand properly with a stroke of the... If I was standing with my weight on the heels, I wouldn't be able to spring forward at the stroke of the fiddle, you see. So a step dancer stands properly with the weight on the arch of the foot, not on the heel.
In the fight against the Black and Tans, he was medical officer with Tom Barry's flying column. Gunshot wounds weren't a major problem. The biggest complaint was scabies, contracted when the men were sleeping in farmhouses while they were on the run.
They were only treated like itinerants, and the farmers' wives, they never boiled the sheets or anything, you see. It was the beds were never dressed, you see. Only anything was good enough for them. So when one fella brought the itch, they all got the itch in time then, do you follow? And I was the doctor, so I was the itch doctor.
The villagers presented him with a television set when he retired as dispensary doctor in 1966, after health board officials called him in one day when they discovered he was 3 years over the age limit.
They were only wondering what kind of a fellow I was, because they'd never met me, because there was never a complaint written in against me. That's why they didn't know me at all, you see. But I'm not boasting, I'm only stating facts now, you see.
Dr. Lane still has a small number of private patients and keeps up to date with the various medical journals. But has he any plans for retirement? When will he be hanging up the stethoscope?
In about 5 years' time, I suppose.